Hey, Ben.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Yes, yes, it is. How you feeling?
About the same.
Yeah.
Gonna get an MRI. The doctor ordered it today. Something's wrong. I'm
Should've-
just not
should've-
progressing. So,
Yeah. You said it should have kind of healed up a month ago.
well, the bones are healed. So the problem is I can't walk on it. The pain is too intense, and it's actually getting worse.
Yeah. Well,
Frustrating.
you probably need an MRI or something of that nature to diagnose it at this point.
Yeah, I have an idea. I've been reading up on it. I have an idea. I know what it is. I don't know why, but when you get shin splints when you're young, when you run.
Yes.
Remember that? So shin splints happen because your muscle groups are bound in the sheath. It's like carpal tunnel. The sheath gets irritated,
Mm-hmm.
and so you get swelling inside the muscle group, and it puts pressure on the nerves and causes you to think you have pain.
Do they
And I
fix
guess you do.
do they fix it
I,
like
I
the
don't like. Yeah, I don't like the solution. They cut the sheath, and then sometimes they can't sew it back together. So that's serious surgery.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't like that outcome. I'm hoping for medication.
Yeah. I I had carpal with my right hand a few years ago, and they fixed that. But that was pretty minor surgery. They,
Yeah.
I think they go in and sever a nerve or something in your hand,
Oh, geez.
and it doesn't affect. I mean, the hand. And
Yeah.
the doctor said, you'll still have full use. You won't even notice it, which is true. But now my left hand is acting up, and
Oh,
probably going to have to have it done. But it was
yeah.
it was minor. I was day surgery in and out, and it
Mhm.
healed so fast, so not a big deal. Yours sounds like could be a much more serious situation.
Yeah, those muscle groups are pretty big, and I know from butchering deer that they're tough. And it's all sinew and tendons and everything all wrapped together. And
Yeah.
I'm just picturing bad stuff. So, well, we'll see.
Mm. Well, don't get too
No,
whacked
exactly.
out until
Yeah,
they diagnose it and come up with something. It's hard not to, though, I know, but I think the Native Americans used those sinews with deer for rope, didn't
they
they?
did.
When
And
they need
bowstrings,
tie.
bowstrings, and
Yeah.
to tie points on arrow shafts and to tie the fletching on the
Uh-huh.
arrow shafts. And a couple of my friends do that. I give him my sheath from the rear quarter because that's a long piece of sinew. It's pretty
How,
cool what they do with it.
yeah. How long?
Well, it starts in the thigh and it runs all the way down the leg into the foot.
Okay.
So it's the whole thigh muscle. It's the whole leg, the whole rear leg. The whole thing is about 3.5 feet long.
Plenty long enough for a bowstring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they dry them and they beat them with mallets, and then they separate the fibers, pull them apart, and then twist them back together. It's incredibly strong.
Okay. Let's see who else is on here. Oh, hi, Missy.
Hello.
Hi, Corey. Hi, Corey.
Yes. How are you? Hi, Bill.
Hey, Corey, how are you?
Doing good. How you feeling?
About the same. Still working on it. Thanks for asking.
You're very welcome. I was worried about you. I never heard what's going on.
All right. Who else? I only can get 4 people on my screen. It's small. So who else
Oh,
is
so
out there?
Doug is on. And Rebecca.
Okay. How about Laura? Laura, you there?
Not yet, not yet.
Not yet.
Nope.
Well, it's a couple minutes before 7, so we'll give them a few minutes more before we get started. Expect Jay and Laura. I haven't heard that they won't be here, so I'm expecting that.
Alan just joined.
Okay, good. Hi, Alan.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
Good. Doing okay, thanks. Missy? Yeah, I gave the mayor those quotes for the carpeting. The
Uh-huh.
two, Home Depot, which is the low one, and then the other one. But I think he indicated we probably need 3 at some point. Could you follow up with Lowe's? I
Sure.
think I try to get a quote from them so that we'll have the 3.
Okay.
The 2 I have, a BT carpet was 3,500 and change, and Home Depot was a couple bucks under 3,000. So they're the low bidders so far.
Okay.
Laura or Jay show up?
Not yet.
Hang on, let me call Laura.
Oh, Laura just joined.
What was that?
Laura just joined.
Oh, she joined? Okay. So. Oh, and there's Lance. Lance isn't on yet either, is he?
No.
No. Well, we have a quorum. That's all I can say. Oh, wait a minute, let me see. I'm gonna call Ken. He might be able to get him on the phone. Hi, Ken. Looks like we're short. One member to get to 5. So if you could you call in? Well, you can do it. You can do it on either. It should work. There's to join by phone. If you've got the agenda, it's got the number. Okay, it's got the number to call. Do you have that, or do you need it? Yeah, and then there's it'll ask you for a meeting ID. And that's a, and that passcode, yeah, that's on the agenda too. Yeah, yeah, right.
Hello,
Yep,
this is Jay Peeler. I've just got in.
okay.
Yeah.
Somebody join us?
Yes, this is Jay. I just joined.
Oh, thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
All right. I think Ken's gonna join us by phone too, so I think we're gonna be okay. Okay. Ken, are you there? Not yet. And Laura's on, right?
I'm here. I'm just on mute.
Okay, good. Did Ken join us?
Not yet.
Ken? Are you on? Okay. Where everybody's on, we should hear your voice on this now. We should be able to communicate with you.
I don't see Ken yet, Finn. How many people do you need for quorum?
You put in the passcode. Just yeah, and you put it in, and you're not connected. That yeah, try. Hey, folks, does he input the meeting passcode or the meeting ID? Probably the passcode. Okay. Okay, so you put both of those things in. All right. Okay. Well, I'll tell you, if you can't get through, we've got two other people join us, so we've got the number, so we can hold the meeting. So don't sweat it if you can't make it. Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. Bye. All right. Call a meeting to order at 7 after 7. And let's see, on the roll call, I'm here. Laura is here, right? Doug, you're here. Jay is here.
Yep.
Misty's here.
Yep.
And Lance, you there, Lance? No, we don't have Lance. Okay. And we'll see about Ken. I told him not to sweat it if he couldn't get in. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Missy, you're a voting, appointed as a voting member.
Okay.
for this meeting? Okay, good. First item is the approval of the minutes from our March 15th meeting. I think everybody received those. Has them. Any corrections or changes?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to accept.
I make a motion that we accept the minutes of the previous meeting. Jay Peeler.
Okay, we have a second.
I'll second.
That's Doug.
Yes.
Okay, moved, seconded. All in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Any opposed? No, okay, so the minutes are approved. Fiscal report. We, as of April 6th, in the Lester House budget, what's remaining is $1,350. Okay, I'm not sure with the lead remediation effort. I think they're going to sort of, unless somebody has something that absolutely needs to be done. I think I'm going to kind of leave that in case some incidental things come up that aren't covered in that by the main contracts that we put out to the lead removal folks and carpet people and so forth. For example, what falls between the cracks, the doors have to be trimmed, the bottom, so that they fit over the rugs. And nobody's taking that on, so we'll have to hire. And Ken gave me a carpenter he's used that he recommended. So it's not going to be a big ticket item, but we'll have to pay for that, obviously. Okay, unless people on the Lester House committee or have something that they think is important that we have to take care of. Okay, not here. No emergencies.
The only thing that we might need, Vin, is the refrigerator is still broken. So I'm not worried about it now, obviously, since we're moving out for a little while. So, but when we come back in, that refrigerator that's given us a headache is gonna need something.
Okay, that would be, I think, if we have to replace it, it'd be I think that's a capital purchase, isn't that right, Bill?
Yeah.
If we replace the fridge, that would be under a capital expenditure.
I don't think so, Vin. That's a pretty small dollar amount.
Few $100 kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that's capital.
Okay. All right. Well, I think we've got enough money left in the budget that we, if we've got everything taken care of and we get towards the end, then we'll purchase it this year. I think that'll be the plan.
Excuse me.
All right. The Sawmill. Oh, is Alan on? Alan's is on. Okay.
You bet.
All right. Good. The Sawmill has got 1580 left in its budget. And I know there are some purchase orders, Alan, that you've requested that are in the work. So
Yes.
we've got the funds to cover those. And I did get, we have donations accounts, as you folks, I think, know. The Lester House has $193 in donations in that account. And the Sawmill has $5,450. And of course, the
We
big
win.
by a bunch. Of course, the big ticket there is that our benefactors up there in Rhode Island gave us a $5,000 donation to be used for the sawmill. So that's why that's what it is. Okay, any questions? No, all right. Moving right along, committee reports. Sawmill Committee, Alan, could you give us that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So just a reminder, the spring visitor season was canceled. So the volunteer group has gotten together a few Saturday mornings to continue to do some cleanup and small jobs around the mill. We got together last Saturday morning. There were 5 people there, which was nice. Got some things done, and we're going to continue to meet. Not every Saturday, although we probably will for the next couple of weeks. So there's some small jobs to do. There's sort of, you know, it's any old building. There's continually lots of things to try to keep up with.
Sure.
One of the larger projects we hope to get done this spring is lumber was purchased last fall to replace the lower course of siding on the south side of the blacksmith shop building. So we'll be replacing the few siding boards that are there, and actually most of that side on the bottom there is doors to the blacksmith shop. So that's going to take the majority of the lumber. So we hope to start that sometime in the next month or so. Don't really have a good idea how long that's going to take. We'll be able to do sort of one door at a time, which is going to make it simpler. And we intend to reuse the hardware on the doors. It should be in good shape. The only complication that may come up, and I guess we're hoping it doesn't, and we don't think it will, that is when we take the siding off of the posts to which the door hinges are attached, if there's problems with those posts. Now the 3 sides of the post we can access from inside the shop all seem solid, so we don't expect there's going to be a problem. Anyway, that's going to be a little harder and take a little bit longer to do than the other things we've been working on, but we hope to be able to do that this spring. The other thing that I wanted to do, I mentioned a meeting or 2 ago, and I wanted to do it fairly quickly, I guess, unless there's a need for discussion. And that's basically just share a list of some of the major projects that we've been talking about over the past few years at the mill. And that summary table of projects was distributed in the agenda packet. I hope at least some of you have had a chance to look at that. And I thought I would just start at the top and go down through. Happy to answer any questions. Please interrupt if you need to. Or alternatively, if there's no need to discuss any of these items right now, and that written list is sufficient, I don't need to spend any time with it right now. So it's sort of what the group would like to do.
Anybody have any questions? Have you looked at it? I guess first question.
Can't say I have, sorry.
You know, it's a really good start at long range plan for the sawmill, for its into the foreseeable future, to keep it running, to fix, identify things that are problems, and also to establish budgets for these items. I mean, some of them are no cost, have already been taken care of, but a lot of them, we need to establish budgets because, I mean, I think, quite a few of them will need some capital investment downstream, hopefully not immediately. But this I think will be the basis for projecting what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, and what the costs are going to be out into the foreseeable future. So it's something that is a good thing, I think, for planning, and we will we will work on. And there's okay, that's that's all I have to say about it at this point.
Well, I don't hear any clamor for me to go through the list. So I don't think there's a need to do that right now. But so you do have that written list now as something for commission members to take a look at. And as needed down the road, we can discuss all or any of these projects. The other thing that's been happening the past few weeks is some work regarding submitting grants to the State Preservation, Historic Preservation Office. And Vin, if you don't mind, I will let you do a brief summary sort of where things are regarding submitting a grant actually in the next few weeks.
Okay. It's kind of started with a call to the preservation office that funds historic restoration, big stuff, up to $100,000. We had a nice telephone meeting with the woman who runs that, and she was very receptive to what we were proposing, which was the replacement of the pen stop. But what she pretty strongly suggested was that before we go in for that, we have a structural and condition assessment survey done by professional engineers and architects and so forth to go over the things we've identified, to get their concurrence, advice, maybe suggestions on how to resolve it, and timing. Is it a problem that is going to cause us a lot of headache in a month or a year or five years? So that in scheduling the projects that are on this list and maybe others, it'll be done with some rationale. The survey, we had a good conversation with Mary Dunn, who runs that, and she strongly encouraged us to pursue it. Up until May 5th, we have to get the application in by May 5th. And she suggested going for the maximum $20,000. That'll go to one or maybe a couple of engineering firms, historical architectural firms, to come in and do the survey. And the state picks up 100%. If we get it in before the 5th of May and they approve it, it won't cost the town a dime for it. So with direction and getting from the people we will write grants to for some of the major projects coming up, we decided, why not? I mean, there's no downside. The only downside is our committee, myself, Alan, Missy, and Laura are working on this. We've divvied up the different parts of the grant proposal, and each of us has writing assignments and a schedule to meet, discuss it, and get it done in time to meet the May 5th deadline. So that's sort of a summary of what's, what's going on there. I don't know. Bill, the town, which I found out, the finance committee, I think this Wednesday, it's on the agenda for these grants. We have to get approval from you, I believe, and probably the council. I assume it'll go to the council, and that should be done in time for before we submit it. And I think
It's the council, Vin. The finance committee just reviews and then recommends.
I
So
can't
it's-
imagine they would have a problem with it, since we don't have to spend any. The town
Right.
doesn't have to spend any money on it. And I think there's a form that the mayor has to sign that certifies that he's authorized to commit, the town to do whatever the terms of the grant are. I think that's may have already happened, actually. So, any other questions on that? It's this initial one is kind of an abbreviated form application that you have to fill out, but for those of us who might be on this commission for a while and going after bigger fish, I think it's a good learning experience for us to see what, kind of how the system works. Okay. That's all. Did you want to add anything, Alan?
No, thanks for that, Vin. So, unless there's any other mill-related questions, I'll go ahead and sign out of the meeting tonight.
Okay.
Okay, thanks very much, folks.
Thanks, Alan.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Alan.
Okay, Lester House. Have a few items here that I'll just go over. The town council did approve the 14,000 and change for lead abatement in the Lester House quarters, and that's, we have to get. Next step is to get them a purchase order, which is in the works with Ian, and get a start date from them. But there's a few other pieces to that. But we have the quote for the carpeting, but that has to be approved by the finance committee and then ultimately the council. We also are still looking for the estimates for temporary housing. And I've been working on that as hard as I can, and it's been a struggle. It seems that the camping trailer idea, I think, was a good one, but it seems like with the COVID kind of waning down, these folks have been inundated with requests for people people just want to get out at this point. They've been homebound, and so the market is kind of flooded. So, and the mayor said he is working on it also. He said he's got a relative who has a camper that she might be willing to, lease to us. Hey, anybody, in this group that knows of someone that has a good sized camper sitting in their yard that they're not going to use over the next, couple 3 months. see if they'd be interested in leasing it to the town.
Hey, Vin, I have given my neighbors your direct information, hoping that maybe that might prompt them to get in better contact. I haven't heard from them for several days.
Yeah, I did a drive-by, and that looks like it's big enough to handle your family, Rebecca.
It looks pretty substantial from across the street. And Rebecca, I think you said you had done a drive-by yourself. So hopefully it can be done. We just need to see if they can overcome the plumbing issue they said they had identified.
Well, I said, as we talked, Doug, I think we can help them with that. If they, if we agree that they're gonna rent it to the town for 2 months or whatever, usually in these rentals, there's an upfront fee, that is paid. So once we agree on it, they could invoice us for that upfront fee. And then if they're short of cash, they could use that to, get the plumbing repaired as required. So
Yep, I mentioned that the last time I spoke to Elizabeth, that might be an option, and to please don't hesitate to say up front, yes or no, right?
Yeah.
No heat on them one way or the other. Just let us know if it's even possible, and we'll go from there.
Right. Okay. All right. Thanks, Doug. Okay. Let's see. The next item I have. I with 2 Avalonia volunteers cleared and marked a trail that connects our trails to the Atkinson Preserve trails. There were was it Barbara Duncan called me and said that people were getting to the Atkinson trails, parking in our parking lot, which is fine, but then they get lost. They didn't know how to, because there was no real established trail to get there. So now there is, although it's still, Avalonia is going to put up a few directional arrows at intersections that keep people from straying off in directions that'll take them away from where they want to go. So, so that was done. Troop 16, Cub Scouts, they're going to camp out May 28th, May 30th. Issued a permit for that. And Rebecca tells us that she's been contacted by some Lester descendants in California who are planning to come visit the house around the 4th of July. Is that right, Rebecca?
Yes.
Okay. That sounds pretty neat. I get direct descendants to come see us. Let's hope that we're kind of back to normal with the house by then. I think there's a good chance we will be. And the last item I have, and it's on the agenda for discussion and a vote at the end, is the Lester House Committee had a meeting to discuss Rebecca's request to raise dwarf goats at the property. And there was discussion, questions and answers, and the committee got to see where they will be kept in the backyard, and the section of the chicken coop that they'll be kept in. And after following the discussion, the committee did vote to recommend to the commission that she be permitted to do this. So, not gonna do that right now, but the last item on the agenda is to further discuss that and we should have a vote on that. Okay, let's see, Lance is not on, right? Okay. Missy, is there any progress on the house signs? You've been working with him on that.
No, and I actually meant to reach out to him last week and didn't have a chance to. So I'll follow up with him. But I've not heard anything for a minute. So
From him, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of anxious to see the one that he's come up with and people, folks seem to like. Nothing on preservation. I did talk to Ken by phone, and there's nothing to report on the center school, but we do have a small amount of money in the budget for that. And I told him that, the money runs out on June 30th or thereabouts. So he said there are some things that he thinks we should do, minor things. He's gonna get back to us on that as far as making some improvements there. And okay, Great Oak Park, Jay.
Well, you kind of covered it with the. I have met with a Boy Scout whose name escapes me as usual. I mean, if I forget my name. I didn't have a name badge on me half the time, I swear. But he is going to be doing work on helping with the blazing of trails and the maintenance of trails and several other projects. So I met with him, but other than that, everything else is just sort of going along, I guess, because, like I said, you covered the whole thing with the Avalone and blazing the trails. So now essentially the Atkinson property is, like I said, it's going to take a while for the trails to get into shape, but essentially we've linked up everything. So the only thing left to do is to redo the map. We have to figure out.
Yes.
So we can, yes, and that's about, because we had that whole big section that's out there. That means it's completely new. That means a completely new map, I think. New maps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
We do need to update the maps.
Yeah.
And I guess as a stopgap, to talk to Rebecca about this on the big map at the trailhead, putting just like a little sticky on the trail where it branches off to Avalonia, and just say there that here's where the trail to Avalonia starts, and so when people look at that, they'll kind of know. But it also, from the parking lot, is going to be well marked. I mean, if somebody can't get a direct route to Atkinson, they're beyond help.
They need a seeing eye dog.
The signs that they're going to put up. So, all right, good, thanks.
Yep.
Okay. Laura, anything on social media front?
No, we haven't been very active on there recently.
Okay. All right. Is there any other old business come before the commission? Okay. Hearing none, we'll move on to new business, and this is the to grant permission to Rebecca to have raise dwarf goats at the Lester House. I know that the committee members have voiced their views on this and discussed it. I think, Rebecca, you checked on the shots. Can you say
Yes,
what you
I
found
talked to
out?
the breeder and I found out they had all had the tests for all the different diseases and they all tested negative for the Yanes and forgot the name of the other one, but they all tested negative. They were all under the care of a vet that we're actually going to use that vet also. And they'll all get their tetanus shots before we pick them up.
Okay. All right. Are there other questions about this? I think the consensus with everyone was that it's a good idea. They thought that this would be a good addition to the farm at the Lester House. And it was, yeah. So, no other comment or discussion, then I'll call for a motion on this.
J. Peeler, I so move.
Okay, do we have a second?
This is Doug, I'll second.
Okay. Any further discussion? I don't think. Did I assign an alternate? Do we need an alternate?
Missy, you send as an alternate, yes, because there's only 4. We need 5. You assigned Missy.
We need one more, and that would be Missy.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Which, okay. All right, all in favor of granting?
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Missy, aye.
Yes.
Doug,
Aye.
aye. Laura?
It's fine.
Abstain? Laura?
She said yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so it's 4 yeses and 1 abstention, so the motion passes. All right. I think, is there any other new business? Okay, not hearing any. Call for someone to move to adjourn.
Missy, I'll move to adjourn.
Okay, Missy, a second.
Jay, I'll second.
Moved and second to adjourn. All in favor? Raise. Aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Any opposed? Okay, it's unanimous. Okay. Thanks
Good
a
night.
lot.
Okay.
A lot. Have a good
Night,
night.
everybody.
Thanks, folks.
Thanks.
Be safe.
Good night.
Bye. Right.
Now you got your video back.